What's up guys, SimonSkulls54 here, and today we're back on some LSPDFR tutorials. I think this might be the last tutorial. We've pretty much gone over everything, and this is pretty much it's kind of the last thing before you can really get to play and start doing stuff. Essentially, in this tutorial, we're going to be installing uniforms and vehicle packs. So make sure you watch the other two tutorials. We go through everything. You get your base EUP in, some callouts in, your general stuff that you need. This is where it depends on really what you want to play. If you have a set department that you want to play, by all means, just have one copy of LSPDFR for that. If you want to go and do, let's say, you want to do Massachusetts State Police, and you want to do Houston based, and you want to do an RCMP base and all this, but you don't want everything conflicting, your best bet is going to be making multiple game files. And that's what I do. I'm going to suggest that you do that. It's going to make things really way easier. And it's not really that big of a deal if you have the space, obviously. Always make backups of your game. If you want to do other stuff, like I said in the other tutorials, make sure you have stuff. You want a clean version just to have. That's like the immediate thing you want to do. If you want to play GTA Online, have a copy for that. You want to play 5M, have copies for that. It's not a good idea to kind of play 5M on an LSPDFR build, I've heard before. I haven't really tried it, but I've heard it's not the best. Essentially, the way that I have it is we have a base LSPDFR one, which we're going to continue to make copies of. As you can see here, I've already made 2 copies of it. So again, in the last video, I mentioned the aspect that when you're modifying GTA or you go to play GTA, it only launches one that plays GTA. So we have our base. What we're going to do with this one is this is the one that we're going to be installing stuff in today. So we're going to rename this to Grand Theft Auto 5. Okay, so once you have your copy of your game, or again, if you're only using one, once you have your stuff, we're going to minimize that. So what we're going to do first is we'll do EUP. I'm just downloading a LSPD pack. It'll be linked in the description, so if you guys want to download it, you can go ahead and do that. So for this one, we're going to LSPDFR. So we got presets and our EUP files. As always, we get a README. Well, I shouldn't say as always. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our OpenIV here, open it up, and again, once it opens, you're going to hit Windows, and it's going to do its thing. And there we go. So we got that. Obviously, we're going to start editing, so we're going to hit edit mode. And where you already installed EUP, it's in the same place. So you're going to go mods, update, x64, DLC packs, and EUP, DLC.rpf, x64, and then we're going to leave it there for a second. So usually everything goes in the EUP component heads, but there might be some things that do _P. You gotta pay attention to that, or you'll end up just messing it up. Now, for the looks of this, everything, drag and drop into that, and see, that's where we gotta pay attention to, is read the readmes, and, if they have anything there, just read it. So everything goes into here. So we're going to go into EUP component heads. What we're going to do, my computer doesn't like when I do this, but we'll see. Well, it does this time. So we're going to check in the folders, I should say, before we do that. Yep, okay. So we're going to take these 3 folders, or if you're installing different EUP, however many folders, you're going to drag, drop, and you're going to wait for it to finish loading there. There we go, just like that. So the biggest thing that I can say with this is make sure you're paying attention when you're doing this, because it's not always going to be _. This, you might have _P, which needs to go in the folder here. So just kind of make sure that when you're putting them in, you're paying attention. So that's pretty much it. we have the EUP in that we want. Now we have an INI. So for this, what we're going to do is we're going to go to our directory. We're going to go Grand Theft Auto 5. We're going to go to plugins, plugins EUP, and we're going to drag the wardrobe INI over to here, replace, and it's going to replace it. Okay, so the wardrobe INI is in there. We did the EUP files, so we should be all set. And if you want, you can change different textures out. If you know how to do this, it's really not that difficult. I'm not going to go too in depth with this right now. So we got the wardrobe in there, we got that. So there's our EUP in. We're going to move on to the next thing. I will show you guys here. So for this example, we're going to be installing a Houston-based LSPD pack. So it comes with a bunch of different vehicles like an Explorer, a CBPI, Tahoe, and then different light bars and variations of stuff. So essentially you can see here what they are. So what you're going to want to do, as usual, you'd hit download this file. I already did that. I already downloaded all this stuff, so I'm not going to bother. And it's the same with the EUP. When you download it, it's going to look something like this. So there's a couple things that you're going to want to do. You're going to make sure that you're in your mods folder. In your mods folder, remember everything is to be done in your mods folder. So we're going to just move this over for a second. And you're also going to want to go into your main directory. You're going to want to go to ELS, pack default, and we're just kind of going to minimize that. So this part is being recorded after the fact, and I apologize. So we had issues in here to do with ELS. So if you go into the ELS file and you go to download, you hit agree and download, you'll see this advanced hook V. So not only again are you going to install this, but you're also going to install the advanced hook V. So hit download on that. Okay, so again, you go to your GTA main directory. I know this is named different, but essentially it'll just say Grand Theft Auto 5, the same way that you guys have. And you're going to go to downloads, advanced hook V. All you're going to do is you're going to take this file, drag and drop it, and I'll replace it just so that way you guys can see. But yeah, you put that in. We're going to hit X on there, and that is that. I believe that is what we messed up on there, so we're going to hop in game and check it out. Okay, so now that we're in game here, we can go into our view menu, we can go vehicle spawning, emergency. For the sake of this, when you install ELS, the only, as you guys can see, the only file that's actually there is the police cruiser. So if we go ahead and install that, spawn that, and then we hit J, you can hear the clicks there. And you can see that on the third click, all our lights light up, and we have ELS working. Siren works. The ELS clicks work and everything. So, yeah, we'll pop out a game real quick. So that's the fix for that. That's how you get ELS. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through, and we're gonna look at the packs. So if the vehicle pack that you have has a readme, again, read it. But for now, we're going to install it in patch day 27. So whatever patch day you decide, you go in, you click on dlc.rpf, you go to x64, levels, GTA 5, and vehicles. And then this is essentially where all your vehicle files for any vehicles in the game will be in different patch days. So essentially, when Rockstar releases a patch, if they update stuff or whatever, it'll kind of come into here. So what we're gonna do, so we're in here, we're gonna take our vehicle, and we'll take it. So this is police. So you drag and drop the hi.yft, ytd, and yft. If you don't see a hi yft, don't worry about it. Some of them come with them, some of them don't. You might see a hi.ytd. That's completely fine. Just whatever files are here, you can put in. You just drag and drop them. So go like this. It doesn't want to do that. Just a minute. Okay, let's try this again. So we'll go into the 2011 CVPI. Do this, police, take these three, and then drag and drop. Okay, and then the file will be in here. So if you click on the YFT, this will actually show you what the vehicle looks like. So this is what our police slot is going to look like. You can see Los Santos Police. It's very, very nice. I love this pack here. And that's pretty much it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to open your Grand Theft Auto 5 main directory. If you watch the last tutorial, we installed ELS. If you don't have ELS installed, it's very simple. Just follow the directions in it or go watch the last video. I explained how to do it. You go to your Grand Theft Auto 5 directory, you go ELS, pack default, and then you're going to take the HTML document, or it shows up like this. It'll be a XML file, sorry. I don't know why it shows up like this on mine. So the XML, and you're going to drag it and drop it. Anything, it's going to ask to replace police. Just click yes. This is to make it so that way your lights work properly. If you don't install it and your lights aren't working properly, then this is probably why. So there's that. And then we're going to do the same thing here with all the different vehicles. So I'll do another one here just to kind of show you guys again how it's the same process. You go in. Oh, no, this one. Okay, so this one's Police 4. So it's a slick top. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the three YTD and YFT files, and we're going to drag and drop them in OpenIV in the white area. Make sure we don't merge anything. And then it's going to be there. We can click on Police 4 YFT, and we can see that this is what the car looks like and what it'll look like in game. Very nice. And again, we go to our ELS pack default, we take Police 4, and we drag it and drop it in here. And just like that, we have it done. I'm not going to go through the same process for every single one of these cars. It's the exact same process for any vehicles that you want. I'm going to put all the vehicles in. I'm going to kind of cut this part, and then you guys can do the same thing with yours, and we will see you guys when we are done. Okay, so we got the vehicles that we were putting in there. I will be putting in sheriff vehicles. It's the exact same process. One thing I just realized, if you guys open up your OpenIV file and you see something like this, just ignore it. This is just something with OpenIV that happens for whatever reason, the white, everything. You'll see not necessarily that per se, but just certain things that you might see on a vehicle in OpenIV. Don't worry about it too much because there's probably a good 99% chance that if it's like this is not going to show up in game. And I will show you guys that, obviously. If something like that shows up, don't worry about it too much. Don't necessarily trust everything you see in OpenIV, because there's certain things like that that are kind of deceiving. So yeah, just keep that in mind, guys. So yeah, I just throw that out there. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to install some sheriff cars, and then we'll pop in the game. So I'll go do that, and I'll see you guys there. Okay, so we got all of our vehicles installed. So now essentially what we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys something that I think you should install. Essentially sometimes you'll notice that if you install a vehicle pack and you have a vehicle and you kind of get a little bit away from it, it'll disappear. And some of them you'll be really close to them and it'll disappear. It's really annoying. So essentially there's a mod out there and it's emergency LODs fix, and it fixes that issue. So that's also in the mod list. And it's extremely easy to install. So your best way of doing this is going in OpenIV. So we're gonna get that open. And we're going to go into our files, and you'll see vehicles.meta and the original vehicles.meta. So if for whatever reason something messes up, you can put the original back in. The modder was nice enough to include that, so if something does mess up, you can put this back in, and it'll fix it, essentially, which is really good. So if we go into the documentation, it has a README. I'll minimize that. If we take a look at this, so it fixes all of the police vehicles, FBI, riot, sheriff, the park ranger, fire truck, ambulance, all that stuff. Get OpenIV. So we're in the main directory and we'll put it on edit mode. So download OpenIV, which we already did. Set it up and select the operating system. We already did that. Make sure we have a mods folder. We already did that. So we pressed edit mode and then we go to, so this is what we want to follow right here. So we go to update, update.rpf. We're going to hit show in mods folder because like I say, we always want to edit in the mods folder. Do not edit outside of the mods folder, that will mess your game up. Update.rpf, you're going to go to common, data, levels, and GTA 5. And already copy a mods folder, we already did. And we copy and paste the vehicles.meta from his into this. So we're going to minimize that. And all we're going to do is take the vehicles.meta, drag and drop it over the white area, let it load. Okay, so we've replaced the vehicles.meta. So essentially it's as simple as that. So we're going to go ahead, exit out of there, and we can exit out of the README. So now that should fix the vehicles not loading at a far distance. So we'll go ahead and minimize this for now. There's one other thing we're going to install too that I kind of forgot about. I'm going to show you guys how to install sirens and essentially a weapon pack. So you're going to, the best way to do it and the easiest way is that if you can find one that says resident.rpf, there's different ways that you can do it depending on how they have it set up. So your best bet and the easiest way is to have the RPFs. So I'm going to show you. So this is replacing the siren and the weapons. So we're going to go ahead and hit download, and we're going to download both of these. While that's downloading, we're going to get what we need ready. So you go back to your OpenIV, you make sure you're in edit mode. So you're going to go into your x64 folder, you're going to go into audio, you're going to go SFX, and you're going to open resident, there we go, and you're going to hit copy to mods folder, and it'll copy over there. Again, this is, make sure you don't put anything in here, you want it in your mods folder. And we're also going to go down and open our weapons player, so copy to mods folder. Okay, now that we have both of these in the mods folder, your pathway is mods, x64, audio, SFX, and then you're going to have your resident and your weapons player. Essentially, when you download the resident.rpf, it's very simple. You're going to drag it onto your desktop, and all you do is just drag it in here and replace it, again making sure it's in your mods folder, and that simple. And then we're going to go back, we're going to hit download this file, and we're going to download the weapons player. Okay, so now that we have that downloaded here, weapons player, I just gotta drag it to my desktop. Okay, and then we just drag and drop, and as we can see, the size of the file changed. That's a good way to actually see too. I forgot to mention that when replacing the resident, but to make sure that it actually changed over, you'll see the size capacity change. It'll either go up or down. Doesn't matter if it's a bigger file or smaller file, but that's a good way to actually see, okay, it actually went in and replaced it. So essentially up to this point, we have installed a EUP pack, we have installed a vehicle pack, we have installed vehicle sirens, and we have also installed weapon sounds. I'll show you guys how to download fire trucks and ambulances. Okay, so we're gonna download this San Andreas Fire Rescue Mini Pack. We're gonna go ahead and download this file. Okay, so we're gonna look at the README, obviously. This. So we want to do. So we're gonna go to update first. I usually do that anyway because you don't necessarily have that patch date in and it needs to copy over, so I usually follow what it says. So we'll do x64 DLC packs, patch date 28.9, this one, DLC.rpf, show in mods folder, perfect, we already have it, x64 levels, GTA 5, vehicles, and we're going to go back to the folder with fire truck and ambulance, which is the Pierce XT. We're going to take the YTD YFTs and we're going to drag and drop them in here, just like we did, and we can go ahead and take a look. And we have the nice vehicles there, fire truck, and while we're at it too, we're going to go back and we're going to go into our GTA 5 folder, ELS, pack default. We're going to take the firetruck.xml and put it in there. And then we're going to go to the Chevy ambulance. I'm going to take the ambulance files, drag and drop them in there. And as you can see, we have the ambulance. And then we're going to go back to our ELS file, take the XML, and put it in. Just like that. And then now we have a different one in there. So now I think we're at a point where we have everything we need. We downloaded fire trucks, ambulances, police cars, sirens, weapons packs, EUP, and now we're good. I don't tend to go in the game every time I do something with EUP, every time I do something with a vehicle, with a siren, whatever. So it's up to you guys. If you guys want to just do siren, go in game, test it. Vehicles, go in game, and then you go for it. Now we're going to load into game, and I will see you guys in game. Okay, we are back in the game. So what we're going to do is we're going to, as usual, reload all of our plugins here. So you're by hitting F4, reload all plugins. I know technically, even though we're only testing EUP and vehicles, we don't have to do this, but anytime I add something, I always like to make sure that I didn't break LSPDFR. Okay, I will say this. If you go ahead and force duty and it doesn't have a uniform on, don't get too worried about it at the moment. So we're gonna go ahead and we'll hit F11. We'll make sure we have our character. I'll wait for that to go away, sorry. Okay, so in the EUP menu, you can go to wardrobe, and you can see we have our uniforms here. So one thing I am gonna say, so as you can see, the uniform is a bit mucked up. You can still go in and edit your outfit. It's not that big of a deal, and I mean, you can kind of mess around with it yourself. Depending on what version of EUP you have and what version it's made for. It'll depend essentially on basically if it messes up or not. So, but as you can see, you can just say screw it, go in and change it yourself. It's not that big of a deal. So yeah, there's the EUP again, F11, stuff like that. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go down here to the airport. I always like going down here. You get a bunch of room. Hit F3. We're gonna go to vehicle spawning. We're going to go to emergency, and we're going to start spawning them. This is kind of where I realized that ELS wasn't working. So we already fixed it after the video earlier, so don't really worry about it too much. As long as you guys did the advanced hook fix and everything that I showed you guys earlier, and as you saw earlier, the ELS worked. As long as you guys do that, you should be fine. So if it doesn't work through the mods folder with your siren and stuff, what you can do is, as you can see here, you can just go to your GTA 5 x64 audio SFX. You can take your resident and weapons player, drag and drop them in here, and then it should fix it. Technically you do want to do it through your mods folder, but if not, you can try it through here. So again, we'll go ahead and make some weather like that. We will reload all of our plugins. There we go. Okay. So this is the proper clothing now that we have. So okay, the raincoat's a bit messed up. That's not a biggie. So as you can see here, we have our Los Santos Police Department, EUP, and we can see the detective and stuff like that. Metro's kind of all the same. So we have all that, and then if we want to, we can also do sheriff at some point. But for now, we'll just stick with what we know. That's the best idea. Alright, let's head over to the airport again, and let us take a look at our vehicles again. There we go, we got a nice ambulance. Anyway guys, so that's how you install EUP and vehicles, and you also, and to show you guys the LOD fix, I'll just get in a vehicle here. So if we drive away here, put our seatbelt on so we don't have to listen to this. And as you can see, we can still see the cars from this far away. So that's going to do it for this video. Don't forget to like the video if you did enjoy. Comment to let me know if there's anything you'd like to see on the channel, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace.